My child, I see that you have chosen to pause and listen. This is a moment of divine appointment, a quiet intersection where my spirit meets yours. Many rush past these moments, deafened by the noise of the world, but you have stopped. Understand that this is not a coincidence. It is an invitation. For those who have ignored my call, who have felt the gentle pull in their soul and chosen to look away, their journey becomes a difficult one, not because I have abandoned them, but because they have chosen to walk a path without a guide. My child, I have spoken to so many, yet their hearts remain closed. They sense a deeper truth stirring within them, a quiet voice calling them to something more, but they smother it with endless distractions, with the pursuit of worldly success, and with the pride that tells them they are the masters of their own destiny. I have offered them countless chances, moments where my light pierced through their darkness, trying to show them the way home. But they chose the illusion of their own strength, believing they could navigate the complexities of life alone. I have called to them in the silence of the morning and in the stillness of the night. My voice has echoed in the roar of the storm and in the gentle colors of a sunset. I have sent people into their lives to be messengers of my love, and I have allowed an ache to grow in their souls, a profound sense of emptiness that was meant to signal something vital was missing. Yet, time and again, they turned their backs. You have encountered some of them, my child. You see them in the world around you. They appear to have everything: success, wealth, and admiration. But if you look closely, you will see the weariness in their eyes. They wear smiles that don't quite reach their hearts. They have built magnificent lives upon foundations of sand, centered on things that were never meant to last. Now they are caught in a relentless cycle, chasing one fleeting pleasure after another, desperately trying to fill a void that only my presence can satisfy. Do you understand what that emptiness truly is? It is not a punishment I inflict upon them. It is an absence. It is the hollow echo of a soul trying to exist without its source of life, its creator. It is like a flower cut from its roots, slowly withering even as it stands in a vase of water. I sent them signs and warnings not to frighten them into submission, but to lovingly save them from their own choices. I whispered gentle cautions not to shame them for their mistakes, but to awaken them to the reality that the path they were on was leading them further and further away from true peace. But they believed they knew better. They placed their faith in the hollow promises of the world instead of my eternal truth. They redefined their spiritual darkness as freedom and labeled my loving guidance as restrictive control. They convinced themselves that ignoring me would lead to happiness, that they could carve out a joyful existence on their own terms. But now, they are beginning to feel the immense weight of what it means to push love away for too long. The world promised them joy, but all it delivered was a restless spirit. It offered them fleeting pleasure, but it left them feeling profoundly hollow and used. They sought power over others, only to find themselves isolated and deeply lonely. They chased after the approval of the crowd, but they still felt unseen and unknown for who they truly are. They tried to drown out the whispers of their hearts with constant noise, but in the quiet moments, in the dead of night when all distractions fade up, the silence betrays them. It is in that stillness that the emptiness reverberates like a vast, empty chamber. That, my child, is the genesis of their regret. The torment they feel is not a fire I have lit to punish them. It is the dawning, painful awareness of what they have willingly given away. It is the crushing realization of what they have lost. There are souls who have spent their entire lives pretending not to hear my voice. They have witnessed miracles and dismissed them as mere coincidences. They have felt my love trying to soften their hearts, but they have responded by hardening them even more. They have built towering walls around themselves, walls so thick and high that even my boundless love feels distant to them. Not because I have withdrawn my love, but because they refuse to open the gate. I have stood at the door of their hearts and knocked patiently, but they have refused to let me in. Now they sit in rooms filled with the very things they thought would bring them happiness, surrounded by the trophies of their worldly success. And yet, nothing brings them peace. That constant feeling of searching for something they cannot name, that insatiable hunger that is never satisfied. That is the sound of a soul that has wandered too far from its home. That is the hell they have inadvertently created for themselves. They are not being punished by an angry God. They are experiencing the natural and unavoidable consequences of choosing a life disconnected from divine love. When a soul turns its back on its creator, it inevitably loses its true north. It forgets its own identity. It becomes a wanderer in its own existence, endlessly searching for a home it has already abandoned. I grieve for them, my child. You cannot possibly comprehend how deeply I grieve for these lost souls. I take no joy in their suffering. I do not celebrate their downfall. Every time one of them chooses to ignore my voice, it feels like a fresh wound in my heart. I see their silent tears, even when they think they are hidden from the world. I watch them spiral into self-destructive habits and unhealthy relationships, desperately trying to find meaning in things that can never fulfill them. I see them cry out for love in all the wrong places, and it hurts me profoundly, because I am the very love they have been seeking all along. Some of them, when they finally reach their lowest point, when the world has failed them completely, will at last remember me. When all the noise fades away and they are left alone with the stark reality of their choices, they will finally look up. And even then, after a lifetime of rejection, I will not turn them away. Even then, I will run to them with open arms, just as I would have at the very beginning. My mercy is not a finite resource. It never runs out. Even when they are drowning in regret, even when their choices have left deep and lasting scars, I am still there, waiting. I will never stop waiting for them to come home. But some, my child, are still running. They have seen the light and have consciously chosen the darkness because they are terrified of being truly seen. They are afraid of the truth because the truth always demands change. They have constructed their lives upon a foundation of lies and are terrified of losing the control they believe they possess. So they deliberately close their ears to my voice. They mock what is holy and sacred. They label what is pure and true as foolish and weak. They believe they are escaping my judgment, but in reality, they are escaping the only source of true peace. Their personal hell is not one of fire and brimstone. It is one of distance. It is a heart that can find no rest. It is a mind that never stops spinning in anxious circles. It is a hollow laughter that fades too quickly and a silence that feels like an unbearable torment. They lie awake at night, feeling that something essential is missing, but they cannot put a name to it. That missing piece, that unnamed void, is me. My warnings were never intended to be threats. They were meant to be acts of protection. Every time I whispered to their spirit, "Do not go down that path," it was because I could see the pain and destruction that lay ahead. Every time I allowed one of their worldly plans to fall apart, it was to save them from a much greater collapse later on. But their pride blinded them to my love. They misinterpreted my divine delay as denial. They perceived my loving correction as a harsh rejection. They mistook my patient silence as a sign of my absence. They fundamentally misunderstood the nature of my heart. And now, when regret finally arrives, it comes like a relentless flood. They remember every ignored nudge, every gentle tug on their soul that they so carelessly pushed aside. They realize how incredibly close I was, how simple it would have been to turn back to me sooner. That realization is its own kind of fira, a spiritual fire that burns within the soul, consuming them with the knowledge of what could have been. Yet even then, I do not turn away. I reach out my hand once more because as long as a person draws breath, there is hope for redemption. But listen carefully, my child, and understand this crucial truth. I do not want you to live your life motivated by a fear of loss. I want you to live a life motivated by love. My warnings are not curses. They are invitations to a deeper, more meaningful existence. I warn you because I care for you more than you can imagine. I speak to you because I love you unconditionally. I correct you because I want you to live a life of true freedom, not one enslaved by fear, pride, or worldly desires. The people who experience the deepest regret are not necessarily those who committed the greatest sins, but those who silenced their own hearts for the longest time. They lived a life devoid of a genuine connection to me, without anchoring themselves in truth. And that, more than any single action, is the source of the profound emptiness they now face. There are souls who laughed openly when I called to them. They believed they were strong and self-sufficient without me. They mocked those who turned to me in prayer, labeling them as weak and naive. But now, in the quiet, lonely hours of the night, they find themselves whispering into the void, desperately hoping that someone somewhere is listening. They feel a deep ache that they cannot describe. Their accumulated wealth cannot soothe it. Their professional success cannot erase it. They possess everything the world told them to desire, yet they feel nothing but a hollow ache. This is not the wrath of a cruel, vindictive God. It is the simple, natural result of a life lived disconnected from its divine creator. Do you see, my child, how pain can serve as an awakening? Many of those who fall deepest into the abyss of regret will one day rise to become the strongest in love. Some will return to me with hearts that burn brighter than ever before, humble, transformed, and overflowing with gratitude. That is the miracle of redemption. That is the work I can do even in the ruins of a life. I will continue to call to them, even amidst the wreckage of their choices. Even those who have turned away from me time and time again, I will call to them one more time. For every tear they shed in the darkness, I send a ray of light. For every soul lost in the fog of pride, I send a wave of grace. My mercy runs far deeper than their rebellion. Yet ultimately, each person must choose for themselves. Love cannot be forced. It can only be freely received. That is why the warnings exist, to gently remind them that their choices carry weight, that their time on this earth is precious, and that ignoring the voice of love will only lead to an ever-deepening emptiness. The hell they experience, my child, is the complete absence of peace. It is the deafening silence of a heart that has forgotten how to listen. It is the endless, exhausting cycle of wanting more and more, yet never feeling full. It is the searing regret of realizing, all too late, how real my love was and how close I had been all along. They live their lives surrounded by the deafening noise of the world, but inside there is only a hollow echo, and that echo grows louder and more persistent with each passing year. It is not a punishment from me. It is the natural consequence of pushing love away. Yes, my child, I am here. I have always been here. Even in the times when you walked away from me, even when you were filled with doubt, even when you felt that you were not good enough, I never left your side. You may have turned from me, but my gaze has never turned from you. I watched you cry quietly in the night when you thought no one noticed your pain. I watched you hide your broken heart behind a brave smile. I saw how you tried to be strong for everyone else, even as the world kept breaking you down. And through every single one of those moments, I was there, loving you, holding you in my spirit, and patiently waiting for the day you would finally look up and remember that you were never, ever alone. You may sometimes think that I am distant and far away, but I am closer to you than the very air you breathe. Every beat of your heart is a quiet whisper of my love, sustaining you and keeping you alive. Every sunrise is my personal promise to you that I am still here, that a new day brings new mercy. Every time your heart breaks but somehow finds the courage to hope again, That is me, moving within you, strengthening you from the inside out. You have always belonged to me. You were created with a divine purpose, with infinite love, and with a meaning that extends far beyond what you can see in this physical world. The pain you have endured was not meant to destroy you, but to awaken you. You have been walking through difficult seasons that were designed to teach you who you truly are, and who I am to you. Every time something was taken from you, I was not punishing you. I was lovingly guiding you back to what truly and eternally matters. You thought I was silent, but I was working on your behalf in the silence. You thought I had abandoned you, but I was carrying you through storms you did not even know were raging around you. My child, you were never forgotten. You have searched for love in people, in places, and in material things that could never truly fill the space in your heart that was made for me. I watched you pour your love and energy into things that could not return it. I watched you chase after dreams that faded as soon as you grasped them. You thought that if you could just achieve that one goal or become that one person, you would finally feel whole. But the truth is, you are already whole in me. I created you complete from the very beginning, before you ever felt the need to prove your worth to the world. You do not need to earn my love. You do not need to fix yourself before you can come to me. I loved you when you were lost. I loved you when you were broken. I loved you even when you did not know my name. My love is not like the conditional love of the world. The world loves when it is convenient and beneficial, but I love you even when you run from me. The world gives up when it grows tired, but I will stay with you even when you turn away. My love does not fade with the passing of time. It does not grow weak with distance. It is eternal, unwavering, and constant. You may not fully understand it yet, but one day you will. You will look back on your life and see that every tear you shed, every frustrating delay, and every seemingly unanswered prayer was my divine protection and preparation. I have been speaking to you in countless ways, through the unexpected kindness of a stranger, through a song or a word that touched your heart at just the right moment, through quiet moments that made you stop and feel the presence of something bigger than yourself. That was me, gently reminding you that I am real, that I am here, and that I still have a beautiful plan for your life. I do not make mistakes, and I certainly did not make one when I created you. You have a reason for being here on this earth. You possess something this world desperately needs, something that only you can give. But to discover and fulfill that purpose, you must let me into every part of your heart. Let me heal the wounds you have been hiding. Let me touch the places that still ache with pain. I know it is difficult to trust again after you have been betrayed. I know it is hard to believe in promises after you have been disappointed. But I am not like those who have hurt you. I do not make promises and then abandon them. I do not offer love and then take it away. My promises are eternal and stand forever. When I say I will never leave you, I mean it. When I say I forgive you, I have already done so. You are not defined by your past mistakes, but by who I say you are. You are not your failures. You are not the hurtful things that people have said about you in their anger or their insecurity. You are mine. You are chosen. You are beloved. You are still capable of doing great and wonderful things. Do not let shame convince you that it is too late for you. I am the God who brings life out of things that seem dead. I am the one who turns ashes into beauty. I can take your past, all of your pain and all of your mistakes, and use it to shape a brand new beginning for you. My child, I want you to find rest. You have been fighting battles that you were never meant to fight alone. You have been carrying burdens that were never yours to bear. Lay them down at my feet. You do not have to be strong all the time. Let me be your strength. Let me show you that surrendering to me is not a sign of weakness. It is the beginning of true and lasting peace. You do not need to understand everything right now. You just need to trust me. Trust that I see the road ahead even when you cannot. You worry so much about tomorrow, but tomorrow is already held securely in my hands. You fear what is coming, but I have already prepared the way for you. When doors close in your life, it is not a rejection. It is my divine redirection. When people leave your life, it is not always a loss. It is often my protection. When you feel empty, it is because I am creating space within you for something far greater. Be patient, my child. Growth takes time. Healing takes time, but I promise you, you are not waiting in vain. I have placed dreams and gifts inside of you that are still alive. You may think it is too late for them to come to pass, but nothing is ever too late for me. I can breathe new life into what you thought was long gone. The purpose I placed within you has not expired. It is still there, waiting for the perfect moment when I will say, now. You are not behind in life. You are exactly where I need you to be for what is coming next. Do not compare your journey to anyone else's. What I am doing in your life is unique and tailor-made for you. What I will do through you will touch others in ways you cannot yet imagine. Sometimes I allow you to feel broken so that you will learn how to lean on me. Sometimes I take you through the heart of the storm so that you can see that I am the unshakable calm in the middle of it. You have seen enough of what the world has to offer, with all of its empty promises. Now, let me show you what true peace feels like. Not the temporary peace that depends on everything going right, but the deep, abiding peace that remains even when everything seems to be going wrong. You keep asking me for signs, but my child, you are the sign. The very fact that you are still standing, still breathing, still seeking me, that is the undeniable evidence of my grace at work in your life. Many would have crumbled under the weight of what you have carried, yet here you are, still hoping, still listening. That is not weakness. That is incredible strength. That is faith in action, even if you do not see it yet. Do not let fear control you. There is a liar who whispers to you that I have left you, but I never do. When your mind runs wild with anxiety and your heart begins to panic, I want you to stop and simply breathe. I am right there with you. Whisper my name and you will feel my presence draw near. You do not need to use fancy words or eloquent prayers. I hear the unspoken language of your heart. Even your silent tears speak to me more loudly than any prayer you could ever say aloud. You have asked me, why me? Why have I been through so much? And I say to you, because I see something in you that you do not yet see in yourself. I chose you not because you are perfect, but because you have a heart that is willing to listen. I can use anyone who is willing. I can rebuild what the world has broken. You may feel that you have little to offer, but if you give me your heart, I can change everything. The time for hiding is over. Stop pretending to be fine when you are not. You do not need to wear a mask with me. I see beyond it anyway. Bring me your unvarnished truth, your anger, your doubts, your deepest fears. I can handle it all. I am not a fragile God. I am not shocked by your questions. I created your mind, your emotions, and your voice. I want you to speak to me honestly. I desire a real relationship with you, not a performance. When you fail, come to me. When you fall, come to me. When you feel that you cannot go on, come to me. I am not ashamed of you. I am not disappointed in you. You think I only love the version of you that gets everything right, but I love you in every version. The one who tries, the one who cries, and the one who gets back up again even when it hurts. My grace is not a reward for good behavior. It is a gift that keeps you alive while you are learning who you are. You do not have to earn it. You simply have to receive it. When you finally understand the depth and breadth of my love for you, you will stop running from me and start running toward me. There will still be pain in this world, but you will never have to face it alone. I will give you peace when others are losing hope. I will give you strength when you feel you have none left. And when you do not know which way to go, I will guide your every step. Sometimes my guidance will feel like a delay, but trust that it is my divine direction. Trust the process. Trust me. Every time you choose kindness when it would be easier to be cold, you are showing my light to the world. Every time you choose to forgive when it would be easier to hold on to hate, you are reflecting my heart. Every time you get back up after being knocked down, all of heaven celebrates. You are in the process of becoming the person I created you to be, even when you cannot see the progress yourself. There will be days when you still doubt. There will be nights when you feel like giving up. But I want you to remember this. Darkness can never overcome the light, not even the smallest glimmer. And you, my child, are that light. Keep walking even when your steps are slow. Keep believing even when it hurts. Keep loving even when it costs you something. Nothing you do out of love is ever wasted. You do not need to have all the answers. You just need to trust the one who does. You do not need to see the entire path ahead. You just need to take the next step. I will take care of the rest. You are not forgotten, you are not forsaken, and you are not too far gone. You are deeply loved, eternally chosen, and completely known. So lift your head, my child. Wipe away your tears. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by my promise, the same creative power that formed the stars lives inside of you. You are not weak, you are chosen. You are not broken beyond repair, you are being rebuilt. You are not lost, you are being found. When you doubt your worth, remember the immense price of my love that was paid to prove it. When you feel alone, remember that I am closer to you than your own breath. When you feel like giving up, remember that I am not finished with you yet. This world will try to define you by your mistakes, but I define you by my mercy. They may forget your name, but I never will. I have written it upon the palm of my hand. You belong here with me, so take courage. Forgive yourself, start again today. Walk with me, and I will show you beauty where there was once only pain, purpose where there was once only loss, and joy where there was once only sorrow. What is coming in your future will make sense of what has hurt you in your past. What I have prepared for you will make you glad that you never gave up. You are not here by accident. You are reading these words right now because I am reminding you that you are loved more than you can possibly imagine. You are seen, you are heard, and you are not alone. My child, keep your heart open, keep listening. I am speaking to you in ways that you will recognize more and more with each passing day. I am not just a distant God in the havens. I am your father, your friend, and your constant companion. And even in this very moment, I am at work in your life, turning your pain into purpose, your tears into a testimony, and your period of waiting into a season of growth. Stay close to me, trust me. I will lead you to a place of peace. And when you cannot see the way forward, remember that my hand is already holding yours. You are mine always. And nothing, absolutely nothing, in this world can ever change that.